Keep your radio dial right here. You're locked into the hottest news station on the planet. Hot 702.5 in FM sound. Blazing today's hip-hop, R&B, and pop music. Keeping your radio on fire. Bringing you the hottest, realest, riskiest talk shows live 24/7 on hot7025fm.com.
Hi. Hey. What's up?
All your favorite artists.
Check it out. Say my name. DJ Khaled. This is Mila J. Bruno Mars.
On hot7025fm.com.
What's going on, everybody? It's your main man, 360, the poet from the Morning Wood, and I'm here to talk to you about the Sci-Fi Center. It's your Vegas home for science fiction, horror, and fantasy. From comic books, toys, and posters to movie screenings and live events, they've got you covered. Located at 900 Cameron Avenue, Suite B209. Give them a call, 702-900-4335, or reach them at thescificenter.com.
Tune in now on hot7025fm.com.
Yo, it's Tavon Greatness Patterson. Want to listen to Hot 7025 on the go? Download the Hot 702.5 app on the Apple Store or Google Play Store if you got an Android like me.
Let's get it.
Peace. We are live right here on Hot 702.5.
Live.
FM. This is Craft Conversations, episode 142, I believe. Remember, this show focuses on current topics in the culture, including but not limited to the art scene, music scene, more specifically hip-hop, foodie scene, and of course the craft beer scene. These are opinionated topics that stem from bar talk with the homies, and it's all fueled by dope-ass craft beers. Right into what's on your palate segment. I dropped the, what's this? Dirty Dog IPA from Big Dog's Brewing Company.
Big Dog.
Local. There you go, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Gotta get your Stretch Armstrong.
I know, my Inspector Gadget.
I
didn't make my last payment. I can't reach.
Use telekinesis. Use the Force. Get it to it. Yeah, we late.
We late, but we always on time for your soul.
Big late. It's your man LaRon MC.
It's your boy K Bridges, K.Bridges if you're writing it down.
We're gonna take a second to get the pour up. There you go. It is super hot in Vegas right now.
It's a solid 111 out there. 111 for those of y'all who like manifestation numbers. That's 111. Y'all can have it.
Right. I definitely don't like it when it comes to heat.
Right.
The heat index, whatever the fuck, that shit is just way too much.
My phone had that red thing on the temperature, extreme heat warning, like for the last 4 days in a row, bro.
That's crazy, man. I guess I can't complain about it. Speaking of explosive, just commented explosive. I think that's is that what's happening with your stomach today? Are you telling us about your condition?
R.I.P. to the toilet.
Or are you talking about the weather conditions?
Oh man.
All right, what's going on, man? What we got? What we gonna do?
A lot of things going on out there in the world. Shit. Something that caught my attention earlier was you remember what's the dude's name that played Kang in the and he was in Creed? Jonathan Majors. Yeah. How first of all, he got making good on his arm, which was like okay, but she actually was rocking with him to his court dates when he was going down for that domestic abuse and all that. And he actually been or he either was cleared or is close to being cleared. And she had his back through that whole time, right? And then I'm looking at did you know that they was dating?
I heard a little bit.
Yeah, so she was walking with him in a trial like J-Lo and P. Diddy back in the day, with her fur coat on, go there support her man. And I guess it all worked out for the better, so maybe he'll get uncanceled sooner than later. But the reason it caught my attention was because of the comments, right? Because I think this abuse thing was about him. Wasn't it a white girl involved?
I believe so.
Yeah, so everybody was basically getting mad at him and her for different reasons, right? They was getting mad at Jonathan and Megan.
Megan?
Yeah.
What are they mad at Megan for?
Because she's supporting a man who would dare to step outside his race and do all this other stuff, right? He don't even like black women like that. You're gonna back him up.
Once you leave, you can't come back.
I guess so. I guess so. But the rules keep changing. And you know why they mad at him? Because he was messing with a white girl. But it's like, I see some of this stuff. Like people be saying stuff like, "Oh, self-hate," or people got no respect for their own race and culture. And this is two black people that's together at this point, mind you, and they just mad at them both because there's just a white person involved, I guess, in the context. But it's like, at some point, bruh, it's like, yeah, I don't know. It's just, I'm looking at it, I'm like, I don't really see no productiveness to the way that people kind of approach these conversations. It's either all or nothing. And like you just said, I didn't think about it like you just said it, but yeah, okay, if you cross over to that race, you can't even come back no more. Right. You know what I mean? You can't even. Some niggas probably just mad because he got Megan on his side, so they want to hate. But you know what I'm saying? She's still looking good too at this day and age.
Yeah, she not that old, man.
She like, true, yeah, that's true. She not that old. I'm getting old too. Let me shut up.
Right, like,
let me shut up.
She's 74 or some shit like that.
Right. But
and she got money, man. That's a different, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
true. Take care of yourself much longer, man.
Right,
you know what I'm saying?
Got them treatments.
Right.
But yeah, so that caught my attention. It's kind of like, you know what I'm saying, myself being with a white woman, I look at stuff like that and I'm like, man, how is my love, my baby mother of my children, love of my life, my wifey, all that stuff. But it's like, I look at this and I still feel like, damn, is there parts of the culture that I'm not allowed to like engage in anymore? Just because like the shit just be pissing me off when I look at it, bro. I don't know, what you think about it?
I think there's a group of, I don't mean group, like, I think there is.
Because I ain't no self-hating ass nigga, I'll tell you that
right. Well, there's a number of people, so it's general consensus, like, it's a number of people that has a problem with everything, in my opinion, so it's kind of hard to, you know what I'm saying, pinpoint that shit. It's just motherfuckers out there just mad about all kind of shit that don't even necessarily involve them. Now, if you going deep into it as a...
Like, as a culture, should we even be concerned about these things? I feel like we probably should.
So that's what I was getting to.
But I don't know how, though.
About, like, the family aspect or, like, you know what I'm saying, creating black families and shit like that. If you're going that deep into that, then I can understand that argument with, like, black men and black women creating black families, black children. But, I mean... It's also another end of the spectrum where it's also
Dr. Umar paintbrush over everything.
It's also another end of the spectrum where it's like, you know, love who you love, and you know what I'm saying, whoever holding you down, that's who you create your family with. But the thing is, like, if you create a family, if you're a black man and you create a family with a white woman, or a white woman to create a family with a black man, it's like it's already happened.
Right.
You already got the family, so
no, straight up. I mean,
you're not supposed to leave.
My daughters are special. I ain't leaving them just because.
Yeah, because some people are upset about, you know, whatever.
Right.
I think it's enough people on the planet, man. We got enough to make us strong. You know what I'm saying? There are strong black families, bruh.
Right.
There are.
I'm just
a lot
like
of mixed race situations. I don't know.
I guess what just triggered me about it was like, instead of,
I don't know how it feels to be on that end of the spectrum.
Right. Like, honestly, I never really thought about it too much before I left the Bay, to be honest, because like it's hella normal out there, race mixing. But what triggered me about it was, okay, y'all was mad about him being with the white girl, and that's what you get. That's what you in this situation for. That's, well, the only reason, okay, yeah, she lied on you, but that's what you get for being with a white girl in the first place.
That's evil,
That's
man.
Cool, but then when you got Megan Good on your side.
Cool. I think that's...
I mean, it's not cool, yeah, but I mean, I can't do nothing about it. So, like, I'm cool.
Right.
But then you want to come back and then castigate the man for coming back and castigate the black woman for being with him. It just becomes a cycle of toxicity that makes no sense.
But see, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. Those kind of people, bro. You can't please them for anything. That's
right.
Either whatever way you choose to take, they're gonna have a problem with what it is that you're doing.
Yeah, facts, man. I guess it just is what it is. Like, I don't know. I mean, I don't know if there's no solution for none of it. I mean,
I don't think it's a solution. I think it's a good conversation piece. I don't really see it being any sort of solution behind it. It's just an individualized kind of power process, and then when you put groups of people together, it becomes groupthink.
Then it becomes groupthink. Yeah,
so,
exactly.
Yeah, man, your family's beautiful. Deal with your family.
Yeah.
It's your family.
I mean, I'm good on mine. I always be able to defend my shit. I'm just thinking about, man, some of these niggas do not even want my help. I try to help a nigga. Oh, no, you the white girl? No, you can't help me, bro.
Wait, what do you mean? Like, what counsel are they refusing to receive based off the fact that you were a white woman?
Because basically, what I'm catching from the temperature is that basically to these type of people who think, you know, specifically in that way, you know, pro-black, you know, the argument, can you be pro-black with a white significant other, or whatever? Okay,
right? What's pro-black?
To me, or from to me, pro-black is being pro the advancement, emotionally, psychologically, spiritually, and financially of black people. And I say black people in American context, I guess. You know what I'm saying? Like, the way I think about it is like American black, yeah. So being for and being active on pushing forward, like, emotional, psychological, and financial well-being for the culture. Like, that's kind of how I look at it. But a lot of people's like, no, it got to be all black everything, right? Like, all black everything. Like, you can't be dating outside the race. You can't be lumping other people's struggles in with, you can't make human struggles, and it can only be black struggles. You know what I mean? People have like issues with some black people, black leaders recognizing other races even suffering, because it's like, well, they didn't suffer as bad as us. And when you lump them in and take away, like, it's like this mindset that takes away from what I think it is. It just makes it like too narrow for me, I think.
Well, I don't subscribe to the suffering Olympics.
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah.
Compare and contrast who's suffering is the greatest.
Right.
It's not like a score sheet or anything.
What does that even do for people to be thinking like that? I guess it makes them feel like they should be specially treated, but I don't know, bro. I guess I've heard so many opinions on it that I just been tuning it out, but this one just kind of triggered me because, like, I've always liked Megan Good. I had a crush on Megan Good way back in the day.
Well, like,
I'm like, how you getting on this woman for standing behind a black man when obviously if he getting cleared, he didn't even do the shit that he was charged with?
Well, because I'm not familiar with the feelings of that side of the fence, I really can't. I don't know. I can't really like articulate any positives or negatives as far as being considered pro-black and having a white partner.
Would your gut tell you, if you wasn't talking to me personally, if you didn't know me personally, right, what would your gut tell you? Can you be pro-black with a significant other of a different race?
Off the top of my head, I'm gonna say no.
Right, and I get that too.
Because the advancement of black is family. Like, family is first in that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I can dig that.
In that equation. And without, like, strong families. I mean,
so that's what I mean about the people who think like that fairly will reject my counsel.
But see,
that's what I'm talking about.
But it depends.
Like, nah, nigga.
See, that's what I'm asking.
Got no right to talk
that's what
about
I'm asking.
that.
What does your counsel consist of? Like, what are they asking you? If it's like a relationship situation. And I'm not going to say that because that's egregious. I'm not going to be like, you have no idea what it's like to be in a black family because you black. You come from a black family. You see your parents, you know what I'm saying? I know you done had relationships with, you know what I'm saying, black women. So you basically got, I guess, both ends of that.
I'm a very multi-spectral type of person for sure, in terms of my experiences for sure. I would say. But I grew up, my family's straight
I know
black.
I can't counsel. You know, you can we could do this human shit all day. But culturally, and I know that it's societal, but culturally, black culture and white people and other cultures are significantly, like, noticeably different.
Yeah.
So
from the roots to
right,
to today.
I can counsel somebody on a human level about some shit if they even choose to, you know what I'm saying, request my counsel. I can counsel motherfuckers on the on one level of things, but I wouldn't try to tell a brother or a sister who's in a relationship with a white person that when it comes to, like, cultural differences that they ask you questions about, I can't tell you shit on that because I'm not experiencing that shit.
Right. Well, I think, like, a lot of people ain't experienced either that talk a lot about it.
Yeah, that's true too, but I'm just trying to draw the line between, like, what kind of counsel, like, you think niggas is not receiving from you because they're like, oh, shut up, nigga, you with a white girl.
I guess it's more of, because usually most of the counsel that I give to black people is younger cats, right?
That situation that you had at the gas station where the nigga was outside and he was whooping someone. I'm not trying to get you revved up and shit. Look, you started shoulder work.
Dumbass nigga. That wasn't. He was mad. That was a little bit more of an emotional, visceral situation. But again, like, he basically, like, nah, you can't say shit because you sitting there with a white girl.
So that's what I want to know. You said something to him that he felt warranted that response. What did you say to him to make him be like, you can't tell me shit about anything because you would have? I don't get that.
He's beating a woman in front of the gas pump.
Was it a white woman?
Yeah.
Okay.
Beating her.
That makes
right in front of the gas pump on the camera, and I'm like, bruh, you're on camera. I'm basically telling them, like, cool the fuck off, cause, like, first of all, like, I'm like, don't do that, and then I'm like, and that's on a human level, right? And then second of all, was on the black level, like, nigga, you know you're on camera, like, who's gonna get, like, fucked up in this situation? And he's like, oh, you defending white women, you know, all that kind of shit. So it's like, yeah, I guess that fits into what I'm saying, like, it's that kind of shit. It's like, the advice doesn't matter just because, like, I'm with a white woman, so my advice to you as a black man is now invalid.
See, that's what I'm saying. My opinion is that it depends on what y'all talking about.
True. I mean, I'm not gonna sit there and, like, I've been in several situations where I'm like, I'm not jumping in the middle, but I'm saying, you know, stop whipping on her. I've seen people beat on women in the streets, like, a few times in my life.
I mean, it also goes on both.
I just don't like that as a human.
Me either. Nobody likes that shit, but Good Samaritan shit get your ass killed.
That's true. I try to toe the line.
Yeah, man, you know, it's a line to be told, I suppose. Right, but I would rather just, you know, safety first and all this other shit, man.
True up.
What I was about to say is, on the other flip of that, I wouldn't tell somebody that's white, give them any counsel on, like, certain shit either, because I'm not qualified. You know what I'm saying?
True.
I done been in arguments I got some homies that got, like, that had, like, white girlfriends or significant others and shit, and I mean, like, they got to the point where it was like, because they was with this black dude, they felt like they were, like, civil rights activists and shit, and they want to get into arguments with me about black issues, and I'm like, yo, you just because you with this dude don't mean that you Coretta Scott, man, like.
Right. And shout out to my baby. She understands these things. You know what I mean? The more you learn, and me too, like, about white culture, the more you learn about it, the more you realize there's a lot of nuance and stuff that you don't understand at all, and all that kind of shit.
Right. And I mean, that's going to be a constant part of living, man. Just, you know what I'm saying?
So, okay, well, so I guess that one's up in the air for the rest of the time, but that's just that just rubbed me the wrong way. Like, how you gonna get on her just because?
Well, for one, most of the people that you encounter where you having conversations with them about shit, if you're trying to, like, offer them counsel or whatever, they might not even know what, you know what I'm saying? It ain't necessarily their business with who your significant other is unless she's with you at the time that it's happening. It ain't gonna be like. Right. You're not going to be talking to a nigga and be like, oh, by the way, I'm with a white woman.
Well, yeah. I mean, obviously. I mean, you know what I'm saying? No, by the way, I'm with a black woman. Like, by the way, I'm with an Asian. Like, people don't be doing that shit. I get that. But it starts to matter, like, when you want to call yourself like leadership positions or like positions where you influence.
But that's just people
like
just trying to use
right?
that shit as ammunition, because I've seen that happen too. Because this generation of people, I mean, I guess it was always like dirt slingers and different shit like that, but the accessibility of slinging dirt has become broadened to the point of where it's just like very easy for everybody to be mudslingers. And and being like a public figure, like you say stuff in certain places and somebody don't like it, the first thing they're gonna do is like, what can I use to attack this nigga with? And then they're gonna go through your whole timeline, try to find pictures of
the whole timeline,
right, who your woman
all the way to 2014,
right, who your woman look, what she look like, you know what I'm saying? Old tweets, all that shit. So they'll definitely do that.
Right.
But I don't know.
All right, so sort of kind of related, not necessarily, but in the same realm. Something else that was interesting to me, you know how we talked last week about the Supreme Court striking down affirmative action.
Yeah.
So, and I'll tell you why, like, the part of this that rubs me the wrong way. But, so, Clarence Thomas, the first black man to ever get on the Supreme Court.
Right.
And then I think you're aware, but Joe Biden, when he was elected, one of his election promises was to nominate a black woman to the vacancy that was in the Supreme Court. And then he nominated Ketanji Brown Jackson. So Justice Jackson was confirmed, first black woman on the court, right? So you got Clarence Thomas, who's I call him a conservative. I guess he's Republican or whatever, right? He's like diehard black Republican, been that way the whole time. And then you got Ketanji Brown Jackson, which, like SJW, like background, social justice warrior, like, look at the numbers and the disparate impacts of black people. That's how she came up in her career, right? So in this decision, she wrote a dissent because she basically was flaming the decision by the Supreme Court, but she was outnumbered, so they got the vote passed anyway. And then Clarence Thomas comes out and says, because I guess she mentioned him in her dissent and like saying that kind of something like, of all people, Justice Thomas should understand these disparities, and I don't know, something. She wasn't like flaming them, but she was saying like, come on, Blair, like, how you gonna be black and not, that's kind of what it was in Supreme Court language. And then he comes out and says, oh, well, according to Justice Jackson, like, I guess all black people should be considered as numbers. And like where I come from, like, you shouldn't be basing things off of people's race. It's always about the content of the character or whatever he was saying. And by her having these, I think he called it, like, I don't know if he said juvenile or like these immature or like weird ways of looking at stuff. Like, basically you're relegating black people to second class status by making them special. So they're arguing with each other.
Pause for a second.
Yeah. Yeah, let's slow it down a little bit.
He said that was a juvenile.
I don't know if juvenile was the right word, but it was a pejorative word. It was like the way you're thinking is silly.
Like a weird way of thinking.
Yeah, it's like
a normal like way of thinking. Okay.
Yeah.
Who's he in touch with? Like, because
all rich white people.
Yeah. It's one of them things where like
all rich white people.
Like Wayne, I remember Wayne. Like Wayne had said some shit about.
I never seen racism in my life.
Yeah.
The white cop saved my life.
Come on, man.
I ain't never experienced racism.
Right. So you get to a certain point and you just don't even understand what's happening in the streets. Like,
right. That's what I'm saying. But see, and I what he said, if you was to take what he said without context, it kind of almost was like tripping me out that if I just looked at it without thinking about who the man is, what his background is, and all this, what he said kind of sounded like it almost made sense.
Well, here's the thing, though. This is the reason why it could make sense is because we have to think about things how they are, not how they should be.
Right.
It should. what he's saying should be the case.
Right.
But it's not necessarily the case.
And that's basically what she was saying. Like, you got blinders on, talking about that's not how it works, though. Like, if you look at all the evidence, that's not what's actually happening.
Right.
But he's like, basically, but if you're making black kids feel that they should be treated special just because, and then basically getting them you know, the same old arguments of all time.
But I don't think it's necessarily that you telling black children they should be treated a certain way just because
of
black.
Their history.
You're telling them that they should be treated a certain way because they're human and they special and they this and they that. You know what I'm saying? Black just happens to be a part of that shit.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is, in this country, and people will say that shit's not an issue anymore, but you got to go to the places where it still is an issue, because there are definitely communities of black people who feel like they're not getting the same levels of education and
straight up
tax breaks, you know what I'm saying? Whatever that makes existence a little more comfortable and a little more simple.
Right.
And
I'm sure he's
and
around.
Hold up. And people will try to sway from that and say that it's not because it ain't because you black, it's just because you poor type shit like that. But when most of the poor people,
race and economics are closely tied together. Redlining is the biggest.
No matter how we want to look at it,
bro.
It is.
The 40 acres and a mule. When I was driving through the country with my boy, I was like, "There's so much space out here." He was like, "Yeah, that's where all our 40 acres is." I was like, "Damn, kind of true though."
Which you're probably gonna turn up bank controlled and divvied out the way they see fit.
Exactly. And but what actually struck me about it was these two arguments going against each other are kind of like not new, right? One is like you gotta adjust the system to atone for its past mistakes, and the other one is the past, and just do everything on merit, right? Which, you know, this country isn't merit based, but we like to believe that everything is merit based, you know. But it's really connection based, privilege based. There's a lot of other bases than merit. You know what I'm saying? But what killed me is you got the only two black people in the Supreme Court now arguing about black issues and making it. That's the thing that's the part that actually killed me, bro.
I never liked
That's the part that really killed me.
I always feel like
keep that shit behind closed doors.
I feel like when shit like that happen, it's like white people sitting back like popping popcorn and shit.
Get him, Clarence.
Right.
Get her, Clarence.
Yeah. They're like, yeah, this is what I like to see.
And that's what I don't like. That's the part, and it's like, and they're both engaging in it.
They're probably not even necessarily the case, but I'm so conditioned, man, that I feel like that it's white people somewhere being like, yes.
Well, I had a Chris Rock in that one special. My mama always told me never argue in front of white people or never fight in front of white people. Or something, how he ended that one special. And it's like, because at the end of the day, like,
unified front, man. I mean,
it doesn't. That's what I thought it should be. It doesn't help. It doesn't help. It just help. I guess at the end of the day, it helps. I guess it helps his argument to put it out in the public because he's probably backed up by more people on it, just on sheer numbers, right? But why are you trying to So I guess she kind of took the first shot, saying like, you know, like I would have thought that Justice Thomas of all people, you know what I mean? So she kind of took a shot at his race.
This was recent?
Yeah, right around when that decision came out, like 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. So, you know, she kind of took a shot at his race, saying, I guess you could look at it at coded language. You ain't being a real black man with your thought process about how you talking about this. And he probably felt some kind of way and came out. And it's been a lot of...
like that kind of happened. We had a conversation before, and you accused me of like questioning your blackness, which it's never my intent to do that. It's just
I just hate to see it in the highest positions in the land, and a lot of Supreme Court
I hate to see it in any
justices
position. I would, you know what I'm saying? I understand that. I understand being feeling like you backed against the wall. I understand the feeling because I'm empathetic. I can put myself in people's shoes, but I've never been in a position where I felt like somebody was questioning my blackness because they automatically already knew what the fuck time it was when I came. Right. You know what I'm saying? When I came in the room by my look, by the way I speak or how I think about stuff.
And Clarence Thomas is, you know, he's like Ivy League, you know, very.
Is he like a bootstrap nigga? You pull yourself up by your bootstraps?
Hardcore. He like the most Republican ass motherfucker of all time, bruh. He's more Republican than probably Ronald Reagan. That nigga, like, he trying to put gay marriage back on the docket and see if they can strike that shit down. He was juiced once Trump put them justices in.
Oh, word? He's trying to do that?
Yeah, he's trying to bring it back around, trying to consider it. The Supreme Court been going crazy. I don't know if you've been paying attention, but they've been striking down all kind of shit that have been standing for decades, bro. They tearing the fuck up out of everything.
I've heard things here and there, man. Like, it's just ripping shit up, but
yeah, it is what it is. I mean, I guess it's, at some point, it is, if you look at the history of the country, shit like that happens. There's like 40-year periods of dominance on one ideology, then it flips. Yeah,
this might be very ignorant for me to say, but I feel like I'll tune in once I feel like some shit's affecting. Like my immediate lifestyle or whatever.
And the thing about affirmative action is I like the concept, but the thing is California struck down affirmative action statewide in 1999. So, like, I've never actually directly experienced affirmative action.
Like, I've never had anything happen to me that I was like, oh shit, affirmative action.
And then some people saying that Ketanji Brown Jackson was an affirmative action hire to the court because Joe Biden, as part of his political campaign, have a black woman for vice president, and I promise I'm gonna put a black woman on the Supreme Court to get the black vote, right? So they're like looking at her like she's an affirmative action hire.
But that wasn't necessarily affirmative action. That was,
but it's the concept that you got there only because you black.
That was catering, though.
Yeah, it was catering.
Right, so it's like
that's kind of what affirmative action is, though.
Affirmative. I think affirmative action was. It was becoming so noticeable that black people were being denied shit because they was black, that they had to put something in place to make it look like you can get in.
And at the time, the social conditions was like
I don't think that's
hot off the civil rights movement
necessarily
too.
Catering unless it was used as a tool to, you know what I'm saying? Like Joe Biden used that black as a tool to, you know what I'm saying, garner votes and
shout out to Justice Jackson. Never feel lower in your position just because of that.
Or maybe he did.
Maybe she was actually qualified as fuck. You look at her resume, it was incredible.
So what I get tired of,
maybe she was qualified as
that's what I get tired of.
But he did say it before.
A black person being qualified, like overly qualified or extremely qualified for something, should not be a big motherfucking surprise, is my thing. You shouldn't look at somebody's resume and be like, oh shit, this is a dope ass resume. What? This person's black? Like, what fucking sense do that make? In 2023, shouldn't, come on, man.
Well, she got a better resume than all three of the niggas Trump put on the court. But
I know our black people that argue for Trump.
Man, oh boy,
so they make the most money they ever made, under Trump. I don't know.
Biden actually made more money, but that's a stupid argument for a president anyway, because he doesn't actually control that shit. It's like it's a much bigger process going on between all branches, but people just you focus on the head that wears the crown, and then you just figure everything falls under them. But all presidents' victories and losses are collaborative, bro, for the most part.
All right, I want to get off this.
Yeah, let's get off this. But I just hate to see black,
but I get it though.
Powerful black people fighting each other over blackness and what it means in front of the fucking country. I hate it. But anyways, let's move on.
I wanna paddle back to the Good Samaritan kind of situation we was talking about earlier. This sister was reportedly missing after reporting a toddler walking along the interstate.
I read about that briefly. So, yeah, she reported it to 911,
so look,
right?
Let me read this.
Yeah, read it up.
Footage obtained by WBRC News shows a car on the side of the road with their hazard lights on around the time period it is believed that Carly Russell went missing. As previously reported, police in Hoover, Alabama are searching for a 25-year-old Carly Russell, who they say disappeared after reporting that she saw a toddler walking along the interstate in 459 on Thursday. Now, assumptions are what we about to, jump into. I'm going to assume.
You talking about what happened or what was in her mind?
All around the board. We just about to assume real quick. Yeah. So I'm gonna give some assumptions and then I'm gonna try to match them with yours. Yeah. So I'm immediately, and I know my brain might be polluted because me and Pooh watch like Criminal Minds, and SVU and shit. Like
just stay in the crib. Keep your eyes
open every day. Like we watch that shit, right?
There's a lot of crazy shit happening out there. I'm not gonna lie.
I've seen that episode before.
Yeah.
I've seen this episode where
they use a kid as bait
to
get the women's emotions going
to abduct the woman or something. Yeah, because
it's a devious plan that makes sense why it would work. This is a devious ass fucking plan, bro. That's just despicable.
Put the kid out there.
That's so despicable.
And I mean Tyler.
Yeah.
It's what, 2 maybe?
Yeah. So she probably thinking something happened to the parents, and this kid is just walking down the street. I mean, so do you think she should have? What do you think she should have did?
I'm going to tell you what I would have done.
What would you have done? There we go. What would you have done?
First of all, I know you don't watch Dave Chappelle shit. The Dave Chappelle show.
Oh hell yeah, I watched the Dave Chappelle show.
You remember that skit where that white girl was on the elevator? The little white girl was on the elevator.
Oh, kind of. It's bringing back to me.
The elevator comes down, the doors open, and it's just a solo little white girl on the elevator. Nigga like, hell no, you ain't gonna get me.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
That's basically how I see that shit. Like,
now, if it was a black kid, would you have felt the same? What was this kid? Do we know the race of the kid?
I have no idea.
We don't know the race of the kid.
I know Miss Carly was African American.
She was black, correct. So, man, the race of the kid. So, but you know, that is hella funny, right? Like, I get both mind states, right? But man, kids. It's just. So you would have. If the kid was anything but black, you would have kept pushing, or even if the kid was black, you would have kept pushing.
So here's the thing.
Yeah.
Because
I'm not gonna lie, I probably would have ended up trying to help. I'm not gonna lie, bro.
Pooh said like, if it was my kid, I want somebody to come help. I said it would never be my kid. Unless something extremely serious happens, where like if somebody kill me, if I'm with my children, somebody kill me while we out, and then she might be in traffic or some shit like that. Like that. Well,
she said she saw their car, like she saw a car with the lights blinking, right, and the toddler's walking. Yeah, so she probably thought something drastic happened to the parents for the kid to be walking on the side of the highway like that.
Okay, well, so what do you think? If there's a car there with hazards and the kid walking.
It's hard to say that I wouldn't feel some kind of way and try
it hit me in the feels.
It's hard
to say. It hit me in the feels, but not in the brakes.
Not in the brakes. I like that one.
That pedal's still getting pushed. I'm all gas.
Hey,
I'm sending thoughts of prayers.
And so the race of the kid wouldn't matter at that point, just for safety reasons.
Nah, your Lord protect that child.
Yeah, damn.
I'm not
prayers,
God. Huh? I want to save you, but I'm not God.
Thoughts and prayers. Yeah, but yeah, I mean, honestly, like knowing myself, like I believe that I probably would slow down to help, but I would tell a woman not to do it, just because like. That's an easy, but honestly, it sounds like the best bait to get a woman to get abducted is by dangling a kid in danger out there. Like that's just devious and despicable, bro. But what if the kid really did need help? I don't know, bro. Knowing myself, I probably would slow down and at least yell out the window, "Yo, where your mama? You good? All right, then."
Yo, so if you got that joint on you, I guess that's different. Like you hop out,
true that,
like full police mode, clearing the area and shit.
Yeah, but
where you at?
Like when I was driving through the South, we was like no night driving, no night driving, bro. It was like we don't want to get caught up in no weird shit on the side of the road, nothing like that, bro. I want to have full visibility all the way around. Cause wasn't this at night also?
Yeah, it was at night.
Yeah, it's fucked up, bro.
All right, good convo.
Yeah, it always goes so quick.
We was late, nigga. We was late.
Yeah, but we was still on time.
So, yo, thanks everybody for listening. We gonna get up out of here. We'll catch y'all next week. Peace.
Straight up.
Power. Respect.
Love.
Yeah.
Peace.